Hi folks, I'm Alan Watt and this is Cutting Through the Matrix on the 28th of February 2021. And as always, I hope you're all hanging in there and not hanging from trees, because certainly people are getting awfully depressed by this lockdown. Nothing that wasn't predicted in the plans of it all many years ago when they talked about their pandemic exercises, and all the present co-conspirators, you might say, who are involved in it, were involved in all the planning stages of previous tests of it as well, including how to keep the people locked down and what to expect with lockdowns and pushback, etc., and how they'd have to go after individuals who would be putting out information against lockdowns or even vaccinations, and how to not to challenge their big groups dead on, you see. It's much easier to knock them off one at a time, basically, by different means of deplatforming or whatever it happens to be, just to stop them from putting out information. This is all written out in their plans for pandemics, and you find it in the section put out by the Rockefeller Foundation in 2010, the section called Lockstep, to do with innovations for the future and so on. You find Lockstep in it, and Lockstep goes through the lockdowns, in a pandemic. All the stuff that we've heard since with even Event 201 and CladX, etc. All the same things, the same people over and over again, same group, same pyramid of groups, really. The capstone at the top, you might say, because they all get their orders from something above themselves, obviously, when they're all on board with the same agenda worldwide at the same time, in every country pretty well. But they said in the Lockstep that they would keep pushing for more and more, to take more and more rights from the public, because this is to achieve a much bigger goal than anything to do with any pandemic, is to bring in the great global reset, as Mr. Schwab has prattled on about in his books and so on, about bringing a new society. And you're going to have a wartime scenario. He calls it a wartime scenario himself. He said that in some little video clips. That's how he sees it. That's how it's planned to be. And it is, because out of a wartime scenario, you have a different society at the end of the war. In fact, if you have competing or conflicting parties fighting each other in wartime, both countries or more countries, all the conflicting parties are changed forever, basically. So his plan changed to come out of this whole idea of using a pandemic to bring it about, not just a financial reset, but it's a complete reworking of money, or even what you think of money. It's energy, it's technocracy, where energy units are represented by tokens, or money, if you want to call it that. It's all the same thing, really, isn't it? And you'll have a different way of living. It'll be a vastly reduced population eventually, including what they've said since the last 100 years, that they should really issue licenses for those who should be allowed to have children. They even had articles years ago when I did the talks on radio about giving special privileges to those who served the system better, top civil servants and so on, who really worked for this global society, this world-type governance system, and how they could literally give it as a reward, where they could let you pass your genes on to another generation. I'm not kidding you. This is from the top, eh? And if you think you're in a madhouse, well, you are really in a madhouse, but a very clever madhouse, because the mad ones at the top, the godlike ones, just really believe in what they're doing, and they truly believe as well that they have the right to do with the planet and everybody in it as they see fit. They really truly believe. They even teach in certain university courses now to do with forms of behaviorism and eugenics, all combined into bioethics. So it's quite interesting to see that you're in the science fiction movie at last. You see, you're actually in it, and you're watching the players come out openly and tell you how it's going to be, not asking you how you like it. No, they're telling you how it's going to be, whether you like it or not.